Okay, everybody. Matthew back. I'm sorry, everybody. It's just taking so long. I'm on the parts of the motor now where if I keep showing you what I'm doing, I can't really fast forward through anything, and it has to be kind of a talkie so I can explain what's going on. So, and the motor takes more time than the rest of the car. Period for me. I try and put so much detail on my motors because I just enjoy it. So I do apologize for that, and I'll try and get through it as quick as I can. There's going to be so many parts because, like I say, I can't fast forward through it. So if you don't really want to watch the motor ones, you don't have to. I kind of appreciate you doing it, but I think you might learn some stuff, or at least not learn something, but see how I do it. I'll say it that way. Um, we're picking back up right where we left off before. Nothing's been done. The belt is still off. We got the generator put back on. So it's all still like it was. So we're gonna go ahead and start putting the distributor together. This is a new type of distributor I got from a different supplier, and I've not used these before. It's a little metal piece. Normally I make my distributors. I just got turned on to the Protect distributors, and I like those. But I've always made my own distributors before, and then I found these, and they're super cheap. And so this will be the first one I've ever tried. So bear with me as I try to put it together. So far the only thing I've done is ran some wires through, looped them through the back of this little thing here, and now we're going to try to get it put onto the distributor. That's just what I was working on. I'm not going to be able to put the distributor in it at this moment until after I get the chrome piece painted and put it on the back of the actual car. But I hope this is all. Man, it's not. It doesn't look like it to me. Say in focus. I guess some focus is going to be on that aluminum. Just trying to get some glue down that. There's a little ridge in there. I'm trying to get the glue on. It seems to be running right around there pretty good. So I don't want it on the outside. And of course the dogs are going nuts. For those of you that like that, I guess that's okay. So now we have that. Hopefully our wires aren't sticking too far below, and this will just, wow. I guess that wasn't so bad. Alright, so there's our distributor. Yep, it's there. Okay, so we'll quit working on that for the moment. Let that dry up. So we're done with that. We're going to, sorry guys, it's really bad the allergy season here, and I get allergies really bad. So we'll get that out of the way. We're going to put this, I guess, shifting mechanism here on the side of the transmission. Put a little bit here. And then we're going to pull our stuff. Since I've not needed it, I just went and left it in bleach. So it's been in bleach ever since last time you've seen it. So it is definitely Definitely cleaned up. I didn't have to leave that long. Actually, couldn't tell you when the bleach or when the chrome came off because I didn't watch it. Okay, so that part put on. I'll have to go back to our pictures and see if I can find a picture of transmission and see what all else I can do with that. I'm thinking about trying to. This thing here has some real nice pieces for around where the alternator hose or the radiator hose goes in. The center's highlighted, but it doesn't punch out. There's nothing on the back where it comes out. So I don't know if I'll be able to drill that out. But I'd like to be able to cut that lip off and put that on there and then drill down through it and put just a regular rubber hose on there. So we might try that. And I found these little brackets here, so I'll be able to put one on the starter and maybe one on the motor to get that going for the starter cable. And I have an aftermarket coil to go there. So now that's done, let me bring the parts over that was in the bleach. So here's our bleach parts. Ooh, I have a little cup here with just some water in it. I want to rinse these. Just take one of my tweezers and rinse them off a little bit. You can see they're all nice and clean. Doesn't seem to be too much of the undercoating even left on them, really. Might have taken that all off. But we're still going to work on that. Make sure we have whatever would have been left on there off. I'll still go through the process and show you what I use. Alright, so there's that. Get this put back out of the way. I had this little tub in there for, I don't know, a year probably. Now this is fingernail polish remover without acetone. You have to make sure it's without acetone. And don't get it on any of your painted parts or anything here. So now, since these parts are, let's see if we get a paper towel in here. I just want to try and dab off some of this water off the part, all around a little bit. Plop it in there. Some of this. Plop. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. I know you were all thinking that I just said. Now these will only leave in there a minute or so because they will start doing weird things after a while. When you take them out, just lay them out on a paper towel. And just let them, it's important to let them air dry themselves. Don't try to force them dry because the process won't work. Just let it air dry itself. And then if the I don't know, lacquer or whatever's on them will just kind of shrink and crack and release from the part, and then you can just take an old toothbrush and just run over it, and it'll just flake right off. It'll all just come right off, and if you have any corners or crevices, you can just take a whatever and just pick it right out, and it'll come right off the part. Cleans up real nice. I know Chris at Diablo's workshop, he has he done I think a video on a product he uses, and his comes right off all in one process. I tried it once, I didn't get to work, and I had it on my wife's sewing table, and I laid me out a thing of aluminum foil because I didn't have a container, and I sprayed it all up real nice, and it ate the bottom out of the aluminum foil, went down to her plastic mat that has all her measurements and stuff on it for her sewing, and it took all the writing off, and of course it didn't clean the parts up, but it sure ate up the aluminum foil and took the numbers off her mat that I bought her. So I went back to my old way. I have no idea if his worked or not, and it works for him, so I'm not going to say it didn't work. But go over and watch his video and see what, I don't remember the name of the stuff he got. He gets it at like Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that, I think. And but he said it takes the chrome and the undercoating off in one step, and pretty quick. So be sure and go check out the video on that at Diablo's workshop. You can see when you swirl this, there's a lot of stuff floating in there, so there's a lot of undercoating that just came off just in the water, or water in the stuff. You can see it floating in there. So this does take it off. I don't know how long I'll stay here, and there's some stuck to the. So this thing does take the undercoating right off. So I'm gonna take this out now and just lay it over on a paper towel, and I see some on it. What was on there before, or what I just stuck to it after the putting it in there, I don't know. I'll lay it over here on the towel. There's something sticking to it out there. Lay it on the towel and let it dry up. It'll take a while to dry up. Alright, so that's about as far as I'm going to get with this one, guys. We're at 13 minutes. So I'll shut this one off. Then we come back, we'll probably start with runs. We'll probably start making a fuel bowl and running some fuel lines and things like that. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and bye-bye. Okay, everybody, so we're back from the last video, and I went ahead and done some work here since the last video. And you can see I do have the valve cover on now. You see me put it in the fingernail polish remover. I took it out, let it dry, and as soon as it flaked up, I took a toothbrush, just ran over it, and there was a thin coat of that stuff on it, and it just flaked right off. I put a coat of primer on and just sprayed the AK right over the primer, nothing else. So I have that on now, and then I took a one of these. I cut that nub. They had some kind of I don't remember what it was now. Something on here. I cut that off and sanded it smooth. Then I took one of the. This was an octagon one here, but they have some round ones. I just pulled the octagon one out and stuck it on. And then when I get closer to being done, I have a couple little. Let's see, a couple little, like, yeah, these little butterfly nuts here. I'm going to stick on on there, and then I'll probably put one on top of the little oil. I guess that's where your oil, whatever would go. So I'm gonna put one on there just for shits and giggles. And so I got the other side plate here put on, chromed, done the same way. Of course, I had to pop this back off and wait till after I got this on to put this on, because that moved everything out. But now I have the distributor in, this is back on, so we were ready to and then I went ahead and took the fan blade back off. I cut the spout for the molded plastic radiator hose to go in. I cut that off. Took one of the little photo etch ones here and drilled a hole in the center. Then had to take my motor wheel and grind out the hole in the center with that, because I could barely drill that with one that I broke. I don't know how many of these things I broke trying to drill a hole in that photo. That photo etch is hard. It'll bend like crazy, but it is hard to drill or cut. So I had to use one of those to ream out the hole, and finally got the hole reamed down enough so I could put it in place, and then drill a hole down through the plastic, and then I just bared the end of this piece of wire here, which is this wire, that wire there, glued it in place, and just, roughly shaped it. I'll finish shaping that later on, and got that stuck in. So now when we get back to it, we'll be able to run these wires once I glue them back in place. Apparently I'm not putting enough glue on stuff or something. I don't like glue bombs. So I pull on these wires a lot too. So, but anyway, we'll get this glue back in place, and yeah, glue just came right off. So we'll pop that back in place, and no better run the wires and get that where it goes. We got the coil to put on. We still go around the heater hoses. Still got to put the hose clamps. So I got to put hose clamps on the radiator hose. I have to run a bottom radiator hose. Fits in here somewhere. I'm guessing, well, that's probably going to be a heater hose, but that's probably where they have the water hose go, lower radiator hose going. But we'll get some heater hoses going there somewhere. We still have to run the fuel line from the fuel pump up. We still have to make the fuel bowl. I got the carburetor painted. Got the hole drilled in the carburetor for the fuel line to go into. We got that I painted in gold, and then mixed it with titanium, then masked that off with silly putty, and painted the cap with the chrome. And then once we get that put on, that should look pretty nice, sitting on there. Of course, I'm quite out of focus now as I'm holding it up. Got a zoom to be sitting down, and I'm sitting there holding it up. So once that's put on, that should look pretty nice. So that's where we're going to be at, and I've already got another segment to go with this one, so I don't want to make it too long. Oh, I had a question as to where I got my fan belt, these little belts here, and I get this at Walmart, and one little bag of them, they're $2 or $3, I forget what they were, but they're called Wonderlooms, and they're in the I want to say bead making area, something like that. You can see there's 600 of them a pack, and mine are going everywhere because my wife keeps sneaking in here and stealing them. And anybody knows my wife, you can see I've got them all over the place now, knows that she wears ponytails every single day, and she's always stealing my little fan belts for ponytails. And she ripped the bag open. My drawer over here is full of fan belts. I got fan belts everywhere. So yeah, but one bag will do you for ever on fan belts. So that's where we're at, guys, and I'll get this one up, and when we get back to this, I'll start making, after lunch here, I'll start making another video, and we'll start on this again. Once I get this motor done, then everything else will be able to fly through pretty quickly, I think, and start back into our fast forward videos. But there's a lot goes on these motors, at least for me anyhow. So thanks for staying tuned, thanks for watching, thanks for the questions, and we'll see you on the next one. So bye bye.